Hi there, everyone. Oh, give me a minute. We're trying to go live on Instagram too here at the same time, which is a little bit tricky. I don't think there we go. So, good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Today, I wanted to talk about revamping your email marketing so that you get better results. I want to go through some actionable tips and things you can look at so that starting tomorrow, your emails will respond better. So let's jump in. And along the lines, if anyone has any questions or comments, please feel free to post them in the chat. I'm trying to watch the comments. I would like this to be a collaborative setting where we all help each other, really just inspire success. We can all learn from each other. So please feel free to comment below. Let's jump in. What are the challenges for B2B email marketing campaigns? Well, number one, there are a ton of them out there. All of us get our tons of emails in our inbox every day. How can we get our emails to stand out? How can we get our target audience to open them? That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to figure out challenges to get your messages seen and heard. And then once they do, your message gets delivered. Why is the open rate so low? Why aren't people clicking? Why are you getting so many unsubscribes? We're going to address these challenges. And when you overcome these challenges, that's when you're going to see your business grow. But I have to tell you, it's not easy. This is going to take work and it's going to take persistence. And then your marketing is going to have to be consistent over and over as you analyze the results, that you keep tweaking it. You know, marketing is all about testing. It's always changing. The economy is changing. An individual is changing. Industries are changing. Holidays, time of year. Can you believe tomorrow is March? I can't. I'm sorry. I don't know. That is just blowing my mind that tomorrow is March. But there's so many variables involved, and that's why you have to continue to always watch your email marketing campaigns, analyze them, see how they're responding. And then when you go to change some things, only change one thing at a time. That way you can figure out what really moves that business needle. Because if you have an email marketing campaign that just bombs, and you go and you change the subject line, you change the creative, you change the list, well, then you're not going to know what really worked for you. So change one thing at a time. But let's break it down now on what are some of these elements that you can look at to get better results. Now, the first thing is you've got to do your research. You've got to really research, know your product, which you probably do. You say, Donna, I work for this company. I know the product. I know our services. But what is everybody else out there saying? That's what you want to know. You want to hear what Google says. You want to go into ChatGPT, see what they say. You want to listen into what your competitors say. You want to hear what everyone is saying about your product and services. And it takes time. Then you want to go and look at your house list. We all have a database. Look at who is buying from you and what are they buying. It's that whole 80-20 principle. 80% of your sales probably comes from 20% of your database. So take the time, really get to know that 20%. And when I say know, I don't mean just title and industry and size of company. Get to know them. What type of messaging will they respond to? If they're a CFO, they want to hear about numbers and how you're going to save them money. If they're an engineer, cut through the fluff. Tell them how it's going to help them. So you got to understand that audience and deliver them messages that will speak right to them. This is where, ChatGPT or other AI tools can help you, because you can take one piece of content that you created and then ask it, could you please make this resonate better with a CFO, a CEO, an engineer? And as I will always warn, ChatGPT should only be a baseline. Then you must take whatever it changes and make sure it really does sound like your voice, your brand. So looking at your house list, analyzing what are people buying, who's doing the most buying, and find out everything you can about them. Then take your content that you've created and make it resonate with that particular individual. That's what you're able to do when you really take your house list and segment it into different pools of people. And the same if you rent an external list. You go to rent external lists. One, do your research. Make sure that external list is really reaching your target audience. Make sure that those people are still engaged. We know sometimes people get put on list. My father is on list and he is still getting emails to this day, and he's been gone for 10 years. Come on, people, update your lists. And I just don't mean clean and update it. Make sure the people are engaged. Last year, when I went to the OMITA conference, I was so surprised that so many publishers there were talking about how they keep their subscribers engaged, how that's a top priority for them, not to have these large numbers. So a database of 50,000, they would rather have 15,000 that are really engaged individuals because one, all the advertisers will do better because the people are truly in that space. They'll like the content and it'll be that kind of give and take, that collaborative. You give them the good content, they respond back, they tell you what other content they want to read about, and it makes your publication better. But when you look at external lists, you've got to take the time to talk to the publisher, talk to the editor, talk to the salespeople, talk to some of the subscribers. Do they like the magazine? How does it compare to some of the competitors in their field? It takes time to find these good quality external lists, but when you do, that is when the magic happens. When you do what I said before with your house list, segmenting it, finding out who is really buying what, that is when the magic happens. Now, I've seen companies go from a database of 10,000, and then we break it up into small increments of 2,000, and they saw huge jumps in their open rate. They went from like a 5% open rate, which is extremely low, to 30%. They've seen click rates go from under 1%, which those are files I would not touch, to 5%. The people were engaged. They were a specific niche, and they created the messaging that speaks directly to those individuals. But like I said, this takes time. It takes time doing all that research. It takes time speaking to external vendors or speaking to some of your clients to understand what is truly important to them. If you take the time to do this and show that you truly care, this is when people will buy from you, but then they'll stay clients of yours year after year. Then the last thing is make sure that you have a CTA the person can't live without. It's not always buy my product. No, we want it to be educational pieces of information. I tell people give, give, give. Give out information. Show them that you truly care about trying to get them to succeed. Show them that you're a thought leader in the space, and then they'll start to trust your brand. When you do that, you build those relationships that instill trust. That will grow your business year after year. So let's just quickly review. Some good takeaways will be segment your list. Clean up that house list, segment it, put it into specific pools so that you can send messaging that speaks directly to them so that they get an email and say, oh my gosh, they read my mind. This is exactly what I need. The other is you get to share that insight of the engagement. So when they engage with you, you start to see, oh, wow, this is what people are truly interested in. And then you can start giving more content like that, and people will see you as that thought leader. Use the AI tools out there, but use them and remember they're an assistant, they're a baseline, they are not the end all. You must review what you get back. Make sure it sounds like your unique voice and your unique brand. If you don't do that, what you've done now is maybe you're putting out all these blogs. Yes, oh, this is great. They're writing everything for me. But guess what? Your blogs are going to be the same as company B over here. Your blogs are going to be exactly the same. And again, you're in that competitive pool where everyone is the same. Where if you put the story about your individual company, your mission, that makes your company stand out from somebody else. Make it unique. Use those AI tools, but use them efficiently. ChatGPT is a great resource. It is that assistant that's with you 24/7, 365 days a year. But remember, they're an assistant. Just like your assistant you would have in the office, you would always oversee their work. You would always give suggestions and you would advise them on maybe a different direction to go in. But like I said, ChatGPT can look over some of that content, create it a different way so it speaks directly to the individual. Make sure it's SEO friendly so that it gets delivered and people resonate with it. Take the time to research that target audience. Understand that house list, clean it up. Look for great external lists that reach that target audience, but that the people are actually engaged, that they've just read an article about automotive in the heat treating space or whatever it might be, because then you know those people will be interested in what you have to offer. When you take the time to do this, I know you're going to see an improvement in your results because your subject line is going to speak directly to them. They're going to open your email. If the content you supply is what they need to do their job better, they are not going to opt out. And if your product and service can save them time and money, guess what? They are going to buy. Look at your email marketing. Email marketing is still one of the very best tools to use because it is a direct communication with the individual. You really get that opportunity to build those relationships. If you have any questions for me, please post them below, or you can send an email to dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. I hope to see you guys next week. And remember, this is a nice collaborative setting. So come with questions or comments. I would love to hear all about it. Talk to you later and have a great day. Bye.